Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSG81 and today I would like to do a comparisons for these two SH Figuarts Hulk. This is from the Infinity War, while this is the latest one, which is from the Avengers Assemble. Okay, so before I begin with the comparisons, I would like to go through some history of the SH Figuarts Hulk. So they have released 5 Hulk as of today. So the very first Hulk that they released is the Age of Ultron Hulk that you can see right now. Yeah, this is a pretty disastrous Hulk. It looks nothing like the actor at all. Wow, this is a pretty bad one to start off with. And the next one, of course, is the Gladiator Hulk, which is from the Thor Ragnarok. Okay, this is another great one. It's like a huge improvement as compared to the one from the previous one. Yeah, this is a very nice one. I really like this one with all the armor. It looks great. And the third one is this Infinity War Hulk, and the fourth is the Avengers Endgame Hulk, which is another one which I think that is a pretty disastrous one. Yeah, it's quite a bad one. I'm not sure why would they go to. I mean, these two Hulk is very good. I thought they would improve the next one, but it's not. And then this is of course the fifth one, which is the latest Avengers Assemble Hulk. So without further ado, let's get started on the overall look for these two Hulk. So at the first glance, you can really see that the scale is different already. Like I say for the review for this guy, yep, you can see the Infinity War Hulk is slightly tiny bits taller than this guy. You can really see from here, or if you can't, just see from the side. Okay, you can really tell that it's slightly tiny bit. I think maybe 0.5 centimeter taller than this guy here. But in terms of the shoulder, is pretty much the same. I think maybe it's the neck or the head. Yeah, I don't know why. And the next thing that you will notice which is different is the green that they use. Okay, this is slightly more how do I put it, brighter green color, kind of green, and this is slightly more toned down. Yeah, so this is in a way is a little bit greener, and they actually toned it down on this one. So I would say that the green on this one actually looks better. Somehow it looks more natural. This one is like tiny bit too green, but it's actually is a lot better if you compare to the Gamora green. Yeah, this Hulk does looks better. The next thing you notice which is different, let's go from the bottom to up. Okay, so you notice that the pants is entirely different. Okay, so this is more like the very iconic Hulk pants, the purple pants that usually appears in comics or even in the movies. Yeah, this is the more iconic kind, and this is more like pants, how do I put it, like long pants that it never really get you know, torn. It's still very nice, as you can see, it's still nice here, but this is the more iconic ones that we want. So the pants itself is different altogether. And let's go a little bit up, and you can see the chest is a lot different for the both of them. This one does have a chest hair, while this one just looks like it have lots of shading, which is good. But somehow I kind of, when I compared with this Hulk, it seems like it's a little bit overdone. You can basically see the shadings like on every muscle tones there. Wow. But it just looks good, don't get me wrong, it just looks good. But when you compare with this, I do think that this is, yeah, even better, because they have a lot more you know, the hair details is there as compared to this one. Is pretty clean. And what else? Yeah, so the muscle definitions is also different, as you can see on the legs, and also for the arms is a little bit different. So it's not the same body mold that they use. Even the six-pack, you can notice, is slightly different as compared to each other. However, the muscle tones at the back does look similar. Lastly, of course, the difference is the head sculpt. Okay, so you can see both are having the same grinning, angry expressions, but it's rather different. of course, the first thing that you notice is different is the hair. Okay, so this Hulk from the Infinity War have a very clean cut at the side. Yep, so it's like a very nicely cut hair for the Hulk, which is something different as compared to the Hulk that we know. And this Hulk is more iconic, which have hair all over. Yeah, so this is something that we are more familiar with. Okay, as for the face, you can also tell that it's rather different. Okay, and which one bears more likeness to the actor? Well, I do think that both of them do have a little bit of resemblance to Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, so they are, it's not really there, but you can still, you know, say that this is the MCU Hulk. So in overall, it's rather hard for me to decide which Hulk is better in terms of the overall look. In terms of scale, of course, I like my Hulk to be bigger, which is the Infinity War Hulk. And as for the details, the paints being used, the pants, even the heads, yeah, I kind of prefer this Avengers Assemble Hulk a little bit more, because he does, you know, brings back the iconic look of how a Hulk should looks like. Next, as for the articulation, as I mentioned earlier, although they look very different in terms of the body mold, but the articulations wise, the joint is all the same except for one point, which is that they have given us back the arm swivel for this Avengers Assemble Hulk, whereby the Infinity War Hulk doesn't have any arm swivel. Yep, so this is something like they of course this one is better now because they also have the arm swivels that we always wanted, and the rest of it actually is the same. For the lower part of the body, the legs does have a swivels, double joint knee, and everything else is the same. Okay, so of course with the arm swivels being added back for this Hulk, I do think that this Avengers Assemble Hulk have a better articulations in overall. And next we'll move on to the accessory for these two Hulk, and as you know, it's rather hard for the Hulk to come with any accessory other than you know, interchangeable hands and heads. So I would say is that this Hulk comes with everything that these Hulks have. Yeah, but this Hulk doesn't have everything that these guys have. Okay, and I'll explain why. Okay, so let's compare the hands first. I have both the grabbing hands from both of the Hulks, and as you can see, they look rather the same except for the slightly different paints on the green. Yeah, it's slightly different. As I mentioned, they're having a different kind of green. Okay, so but the hands wise is almost similar. And next I'll move on to the heads. As you can see just now that I shown, the heads are rather different as compared to the grinning teeth, although they are with the almost similar expressions. Next similar head is this screaming head sculpt. Okay, so you can see both of them actually looks pretty good, but I would say if you look closely enough, it seems that this Avenger Assemble Hulk does have more detail, especially in the inside the mouth. You can really see the teeth are being sculpted, and also the tongue. Yeah, this one is rather you know, you can't really see the tongue there, and this one you can see the eyes, but the eyes being painted, this one I think is much better. This one is rather fuzzy, and the hair does have some white there. And the last interchangeable head is the different one, whereby you can see the Infinity War one does have a calm looking Hulk, yeah, which is great for photo shooting. And this Avengers Assemble Hulk have the cheeky smiling Hulk, which is quite unique because it's rather hard to get a Hulk in a smiling face. And lastly is the thing that this Infinity War Hulk doesn't come with, but the Avengers Hulk have, which is a pair of hands which you can articulate. Okay, so this is another great addition, I would say. Yeah, very nice, especially it has very tight grabbing. Yeah, I actually use it to grab Loki's leg upside down, and it can grab rather strong, and it doesn't let go even without any stand to support the Loki. So this is another great pair of hands that this Avengers Assemble Hulk comes with. Next, we'll move on to playability, or someone has suggested to change it to durability, which is a good suggestion. It is to talk about how safe it is to play with this figure. Okay, so for this Infinity War Hulk, I have dropped it countless time and there is not even a scratch. Okay, there's nothing broken. Yeah, so it's very durable. You can even throw it at someone, it might kill them. Ow. But as for this Hulk, so far I have not dropped it yet, so finger crossed that I believe it should be pretty durable as well. And so far I have not seen any cases reported about any broken joints or broken ankle or anything like that for any Hulk. If you can break it, you are really strong. So for the durability wise, I think both of them are pretty safe to play with. And next I'll move on to the packaging design. As for this Hulk box, I have thrown it ages ago, and as for this Hulk, of course I still have it, but I will show you comparison pictures of both of the boxes, which I believe is rather similar in terms of the size, so there is nothing much to talk about. So as for collectors who doesn't like to collect big boxes like me, I would think both of the boxes is not very good in terms of, you know, for collection. So usually I will throw away the box as soon as I can. And the very last comparison is the price for both of them, and luckily for us collectors, Hulk figures are not very expensive to get, especially for the SH Figuarts one, unless you're talking about the Gladiator Hulk, which is slightly more expensive because it is a web exclusive. So for both of these Hulk, at this moment when I check in the Japanese website, this Hulk actually costs around 5,000 yen, and this new Hulk costs around 6,000 yen. So it's only 1,000 yen difference, which is not a lot actually. Just I think maybe just few dollars USD in difference. So yep, of course this new Hulk is slightly more expensive because it is still new, and also it also comes with a few more new things as compared to this guy. So I think the hype is still there for it to be slightly more expensive. So the final verdict of this comparison is this Infinity War Hulk have 3 points, while the Avengers Assemble ones have 4 points. Okay, so this is the one that wins. Yep, so I would say is that yeah, they are both pretty good in my opinions. I would not sell this guy even though I have this guy already, because I just like the scale of it. I like a big Hulk and it doesn't really looks bad. Okay, but this one does looks good in a way that it has more details. The green is kind of looking more natural, and the pants of course is more iconic, the torn pants that we want to have. And yeah, so even the head is a little bit more iconic as compared to this clean cut Hulk, which is quite different as compared to the Hulk that we know. Yeah, but in overall I still think that both of them are good. So even if you already have this Infinity War Hulk, I would still recommend you to get this guy if you want to. Unless you don't have extra funds for this one, I think you can still stay with this guy. Yeah, this is a good looking Hulk. But of course, if you don't have any Hulk at all, I would recommend you to get this latest Avengers Assemble Hulk. Yeah, because it does looks better in terms of the details, the iconic looks, the iconic pants. Yeah, so I think you should get this guy, even though it's just tiny bit more expensive and just tiny bit shorter as compared to this guy. So I hope my comparison will give you some informations and also some decision on which Hulk you should give. Do give me a thumbs up if it does help you, and of course I will always love to hear from you. What do you think about this comparison? Do you think it's a fair comparison, or do you think that this Hulk should be a lot better than this one? And what is your thoughts about this? Do leave me your thoughts down in the comment sections below. And while you're still around, I hope you check out my playlist right over here, and also do browse around my channel for more interesting comparisons such as this one. And I'll see you guys again in my next video. As always, take good care of yourself and thank you for watching.